What's up, cleaners? What's going on here? Let's see here. I think let me see if Lewis is ready now. Lewis, are you good?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me? Is it good?
Yeah, it's all good. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay. All right. Now, let me ask you something. Does it get louder as I go closer to this?
You do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Just want to make sure my microphone is working. Mike hasn't joined in yet, and I'm assuming that David Colby will be in here shortly as well.
No worries.
We got a lot going on here. It's been one hell of a week. First off, what's up, cleaners? It's time for another episode of Solar Panel Cleaning Friends, the only podcast made to teach solar panel cleaners of all levels how to succeed and survive in a modern cleaning industry. Whether you're brand new to solar panel cleaning or a veteran in the game, you're sure to pick up tidbits of actionable advice when you listen or watch the Solar Panel Cleaning Friends podcast. I'm Chris Virgin. Joining me is Luis Alfaro and our other host, Mike Espinoza. Espinoza. Jeez, he's not going to like that. Mike Espinoza. And also David Colby should be joining us shortly. On this week's episode, we have a special guest with us that I'm excited about. I think he's going to be joining us. We'll find out soon. It should be after 15 minutes after the hour. I believe he's been a little bit busy because I think one of his guys has had COVID. He's been super busy. But the Mr. Outlaw Window Cleaner himself, Bob the Bucket, or Bucker Bob the Bucket Bob, the online character, really funny guy, and also the co-host of the Squeegee Life Podcast and owner of Sure Shine Window Cleaning Solutions, Mr. Tim Huber, will be sitting down with us today and chatting a little bit about solar panel cleaning. Lewis, we're going to talk to him about solar panel cleaning from a window cleaner's perspective. He's been in the game for quite a while, and in his area, I think he said, I want to say Ohio is where he lives. It's a little bit dense for him out there, so I'm curious to talk to him about how he sees solar panel cleaning and how he deals with it, and any advice he might have for somebody in the same situation. We're also going to be talking about a few other things here, but this week, Lewis, I've got the questions and answers and the 5 questions for you. You ready for that?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
Okay, because I think we got some good ones. We got 5 questions that we're going to be talking about that we chose from the audience that I think is going to be just really, really good to go over. There's a lot to learn, and also it's super, super funny. But let's see. In addition to that, we're going to be talking about something specific this week. We're going to be talking about Carport solar panel cleaning, or rather Carport solar panel cleaning in general. But we're going to focus on doing the Carport solar panel cleaning for schools. So we'll be doing that, and that's going to be really good. Before we get into this, Lewis, what's going on? How's your week been?
Well, I just got back from Hawaii. As you guys can tell, a little bit darker.
Actually, you look the same. I'm going to be truthful. You look pretty much the same. There's not too much of a change.
Nah,
I'm going to be truthful. Right. I got you.
It's been a busy week. Time difference changed. Obviously, a little bit less sleep or more sleep. I don't know. I was in Hawaii when the hour changed, and in Hawaii they don't have the hour change thing. So when I come back over here, it's totally different, especially when you're flying, But this week, is actually the most funniest day or funniest week. So yesterday,
really,
yeah, I went out with the team to go clean. 7 homes yesterday with Team A and 3 homes on Team B, and nice. One of our rotary brushes was not spinning, so we had to take the manual brushes, right? So this customer, I think she called one of my sales team, and she called about 2 weeks ago, and we agreed for Monday or yesterday, right? Yes, yesterday, Monday, to go clean her house, and she said I only have 3 solar panels. So now remember, we put for Team A takes care of 11 and under panels. So if you have less than 11 panels, it's manual brushes. If you have 13 and over, then you have rotary brushes.
Uh-huh.
So that day we didn't have the rotary brush for Team A. Normally Team A has the extra one just in case time is going by too fast and they need to pump out the jobs faster. So we get there, and it's not 3 panels. It was 26 panels. Now, I called her and I said, hey, this is Luis, and I'm the owner of Solar Panel Cleaners. We just want to let you know that, you don't have 3 panels. You have 26 panels. But before that, she texts us her address, right? So we check in the system. The system gives us an address. We go to that home address. We set up and all that. We go up on the roof. We get up on the roof and onto the second floor. No panels on this home. So we called her and said, hey, we're at this address, but there's no panels. Are you sure you have panels? She was like, I have panels. I have 3 panels. So then we told her, let me get off the roof. So I get off the roof and I said, is this your home address? And she said, no, that is not my home address. And I was like, so we're in someone's roof. It's completely secret. And then one of my guys was like, yo, there's a lady in the back. And she just looked at me like, what the fuck? Why the fuck is someone on my roof? So the guy came out, the homeowner came out and said, what are you guys doing? And I was like, we're on the wrong address. This homeowner texted us this address, and we're so sorry. We're going to head down. So it was like 9 homes down. So we get to that house. We get up there, and we're like, this is not 3 panels. This is 26 panels. We call her, whatever. We tell her it's not 26. She was like, oh, is the price going to go up? And we're like, yes, the price is going to go up because, 3 panels to 26 panels is a big difference. And I told her we're gonna have to reschedule because we don't have a rotary brush right now on this truck. So it's not gonna be fast enough, and we have another appointment to go get to. So we told her, can we just come back tomorrow? And she said, oh yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. We showed up today. Okay. Once again, reminder. She said you guys can come tomorrow again.
No one cares. The entertainment has arrived.
Exactly. Welcome.
This guy, listen. Oh, you're gonna love this, Mike. This guy showed up he did 7 homes yesterday. Went out with the team.
Well, hold on. Let's pause here. Let's start with that hair.
Oh, I just showered, boy.
He just said he got back from.
That's not.
He just got back from Hawaii,
boy. You ain't got no caps.
This guy right here decides to get up on a rooftop, and he's on the wrong rooftop.
Can you have my headphones, please?
Yeah. So he's out there, and right now he's telling us he's on the wrong rooftop. He's got the wrong address, and the this person's looking at him is not his customer. It's somebody else, a homeowner who does not know that he's supposed to be on his roof.
Oh wow,
that's like us, just right. So Luis Alfaro is on point, is what he's saying.
Yeah. So we get to the right address finally, right? We call her, we tell her it's not the right amount of panels. The price is going to go up, but we're going to have to come back tomorrow. We're already late for other appointments. We go today, right? We ring the doorbell, no one answered. But we remember that on the system, it says you do not need to ring the doorbell. You don't need to call. Immediately access the roof and clean the panels. So we get the green light, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember this customer. We had to clean it yesterday, and now we're coming today. So we do the panels, we take pictures, whatever. We leave, right? I call her 2 hours later, and I said, oh, here, let me remind her that we cleaned the panel. So I called her and I said, hi, how are you? I just want to let you know we cleaned your panels today, as we agreed from yesterday. She was like, you went on my roof without permission, and you went on my roof without permission. It was like, I'm very upset about that. And I was like, we
talked yesterday, right? Verbal.
Yeah, we had permission from you yesterday. We told you we're going to be back again today, was the next day, which is today. And you told us that we don't need to ring the doorbell because you're going to be at work and we don't need to call you. But we did call her and she didn't answer.
Yeah, we would still reach out even though they said that as well, just as a courtesy.
Yeah, so we cleaned the panels, we took pictures. I gave her a call a few hours later, and she was like, I don't appreciate you guys went onto my property without my permission. And I was like, we agreed to this yesterday. You told me not to reach out to you just to get it done. Remember, she's an older lady, and I understand.
Yeah, a lot of the customers are actually older individuals.
Yeah. So she was not happy. She was like, I hope you left an invoice on the door. If not, I'm not gonna pay. And I was like,
Oh, wowzer.
Wow.
so I said, like we agreed before. We don't leave
Oh, no,
invoices at the door. No, we take cash. We
No.
send everything email. Invoice via email. So I was like, Miss, don't worry. We're still gonna send you your pictures and your whole report. She was like, now I'm afraid that you guys got the right home because the first time you guys didn't get the right home, and I was like, on the system you put that address, you put it incorrectly. We didn't. She was like, no, you guys wrote it down. And I was like,
it's in the system. We don't do
on
any
your
of
own.
that. Yeah.
Right. So I was like, I sent her a big email. I told her, I'm so sorry for the miscommunication, but we did agree to something. It's okay if you don't want to pay. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna bother. But if you do, just send a check to this mailing address. And here's your pictures before and after. And then I recommend to hire a tree company because her panels are covered by.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was bad, and her panels were covered in moss. So moss grows.
Oh, wow.
We ran into some of that today as well.
Yeah, we actually ran into a lot of moss today. It was only on one house, but it was heavy on the bottom ridge like crazy.
It was so bad. It was all in the shingle as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude. Damn. Slippery, huh?
Terrible.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it depends on the house. Some houses are
well,
like
if it's
no
wet,
big deal.
But
remember that one house, if we have to break out the extension ladder and have to get all the way up in the air, like that one house where I'm not comfortable, I'm like, you're staying on the ground and protecting the ladder at the bottom just in case. It's those types of houses where I don't like them. And sometimes I just want to get off the, ladder and walk down and be like, look, we're not cleaning your solar panels. That's just the way it is.
It's not
sorry
safe.
About that. Right.
No doubt. What is it? There's some homes right by Point Loma that are like, they're 2-story, but they don't have access, that you can hop from the 1-story to the 2-story, and they have it just straight down, right? Those homes, we normally don't do them if it's not safe. So like everybody is on the road that like, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel safe, you're not gonna do the home. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Tell the customer we're not gonna do the home.
Right.
Hire someone because at the end of the day, we gotta come back to our families.
Yeah, for sure. And some roofs are scary.
Exactly.
No, we actually went to a house today where I recently fell from
that was beautiful.
Yeah, from the second story to the first story.
Swan
the ladder
dive.
wasn't properly there. I just went. Yeah, it just
disappeared.
Just went. Stuff happens. But that all falls in line with what we're talking about today. Today we're going to be actually talking about cleaning carport solar panels, which is going to be
Mr. Colby
fun.
is on shift actually.
So. I saw that Mr. Colby's on shift. So Mr. David Colby won't be joining us today because he's on shift.
No worries.
And he's the real hero of the group. So we'll let that go. I have somewhat of a bad connection. I'm trying to fix that up, but I don't.
You look a little blurry.
I do. I think it's
you,
because
Mr. Virgin.
I do. I'm trying to fix it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, but as long as you guys can hear me okay, then you don't need to really.
Chris was touched for the very first time a few days ago.
I'm kind of ugly, so it doesn't really matter what I look like. But we are going to talk about.
They're getting the good end here.
I'm going to ignore that.
That's cool.
We're going to be talking about cleaning these carport solar panels, which I think is the pinnacle of solar panel cleaning. There's a lot of different solar panel cleaning that I see, and a lot of different things that a lot of different individuals do. But I believe that carport solar panel cleaning is probably the top of it, the hardest, because there's so much that's involved with it. So we're going to be talking about a little bit about that. Lewis, let me ask you, have you, because I know, Mike, you have, because you've cleaned with me, but Lewis, have you ever cleaned
for me, it adds a lot of variables. That's what it is.
It does. So much. Lewis, have you found yourself or you and you guys in that situation of cleaning carport solar panels?
Yes. We did a high school in Tirasana, which is the high school I
went
to. So that's how we were able to get that job. But
a lot of panels.
2
Decent.
parking structures, probably 7,000 panels.
Wow, no, that's a good amount.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Nice.
It's
Yeah,
big.
for sure.
It's big. It's not
A lot of panels. Was it your
lot.
first commercial job like that, or like at
No,
carports?
the first carport panel that we did was actually, I think, 800 panels,
Mhm.
but it was at a mechanic
Wow.
shop. Yeah, a mechanic shop,
That's
and
a good
it was
intro.
manual brushes, a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Always.
And the worst thing that we did was renting out the electrical lifts.
Those
Yes.
suck.
That
That is,
They're the
yeah, you're
worst.
right. That's
Just
a real
because
clincher right there.
because
Every
you
single
wanna go
time.
cheaper. Yeah, don't go cheap. Rent the gas ones, the all-wheel drive ones.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah. Rent it and charge your customer because
Yeah.
you need it.
Yeah,
100%.
Add it to the bid, you know, and charge. We charge for the shipping and handling, you know, because we gotta get it.
Yeah, it's not cheap. Yeah, you got to get it dropped
It's
off,
not.
picked up.
Exactly. So we charge
Yeah.
a little bit on the shipping and handling, but they pay fully on the rental. We don't charge them for the rental. So we include it on the bid, and you know, we require a deposit for our jobs, especially for commercial ones. But yes, you do have.
Yeah, that's a very good idea because it costs money to clean those.
Yeah,
It does.
There could be good money, but there's got to be a good game plan, the right equipment.
It is. And there was a Kaiser clinic in Logan Heights that we did, and for these jobs is that you can't ask for a down payment or early deposit. If you do not have the money to do the job,
They don't even want the
you
bid.
have to bid on it, you know, because you got to cover the cost because they have to go through a whole chain of process.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we ran into
So
that too.
that's-
It was 30 days, and they took all 30 days to pay us
It's
in one
either
job.
net 30 or
Yeah,
net 40.
these
And
are
we came
important
out
things.
pocket everything up front.
Exactly. Now, and that's what I want to talk about because I don't think a lot of people understand that, and that's where this makes this so important. So what I did is I made here a list, and let me see if I can pull this up here. I made a list of a few different things here, a little lista, and we're going to go over some things, and I'm going to try to type up some notes as well as I'm doing this stuff. So hopefully that helps out, and we're going to talk a little bit about this, and hopefully all together we're going to come up with some answers and some solutions to make this a little bit better, because I can tell you it can be easy or it can be completely hard, and that doesn't matter if you have a manual brush, whether you have a rotating bristle brush. I haven't used a robot on these the Carport solar panels, but there's still a little level of difficulty because there's a lot of other things that carry along with this. So we'll get right in that. I think that the first thing, you know, maybe we should talk about that is very important is the first experience with cleaning a carport, because I'm not going to get into it because you guys have all heard me say that, you know, my first job, which was 7,800 panels, carport solar panels that we had to clean, that was spread out between, I think, 7 carports. It was ridiculous at a high school, and we took 5 days to do that. You guys have heard me say that and talk about that. I don't know how many times in this podcast and the other one. Mike, you had a good experience with me, so I want to hear about yours. Lewis, you start talking about yours. So first, let me get into you and let me ask you exactly what was your first carport, the first carport solar panel cleaning that you did. How did you get that job? Where, you know, what exactly where, you know, did you contact somebody? Did somebody contact you, or how did you fall into that carport solar panel cleaning job?
The first one that we did was in Linda Vista, and
Really?
we got reached out by Google, and they were just looking for a bid. So we went over there, did the whole bid, you know, got the number of panels, how high, how much it was going to cost to rent a lift, and what were the requirements that they needed. Luckily, we did have everything, but the first time cleaning them, I mean, it's not easy, you know. It's your first time. You're just like, the water is so far out. You got to either have a tank or have a shitload of water hoses, which is going to cost you a lot of money, and then have your filters, you know. So the first time we cleaned the panels, we made probably like a 10% profit, just because we did not implement all those other expenses.
Yeah, they accumulate. They come up quick.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They do. You know.
They do.
So it was. I think that one was 500 or 500 and something, and we only had one water fed pole at that time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it took 2 days.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that'll beat your arms up.
Yeah, the 2 days.
Yeah, anything with the
Yeah, we rented the lift, the electrical lift, for 1 day. Got into 2 days, extended, they charge you a lot more. If
Right.
you
Double up.
Yeah, if you don't, choose the right dates together as the combo or the.
And they're fast to charge that card too.
Oh, so quick. So quick.
Immediately.
They're taking that money. They're not messing around.
Hey,
they're not.
At 501, you got another day.
Yes.
Seriously.
Immediately. They're so.
It might be like
so
on something computerized because they need that.
Not just that, but we actually had to stay overnight to make sure that they didn't steal.
Oh wow.
Jeez, Mike. The first time that I took you out to do a carport solar panel cleaning, we drove all the way to Corona, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, Chris. It was quite far.
And but we had the all-wheel drive lift, which
we had the
really,
truck,
really
we had the lift.
Yeah,
we had plenty of lift.
Yes.
What I think what was the hardest part for us is how many panels was it? 4,000, 5,000, something around there.
Something like that. Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was.
It was how spread out they were, and it was in a mobile park home. 4,300. It was in a mobile park home, so there was 12 different arrays, and there was 3 different mobile park homes that all had multiple arrays that we would have to drive this lift from one thing to the other. Water was an issue. They told us to use water from people's homes. It was. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was
so
crazy.
Yeah, not to mention the panels. We would go up there and it would be, let's say 30, 40 long, but 12 deep.
Yeah.
Our 30-foot pole plus the distance from the lift where we're working from, we'd have to go on both sides. So it took double the time. And we're doing it with me and him on the same lift and 2 manual brushes. It was a real time. Mr. Colby.
Mr. Colby. What's going on, sir?
I'm on shift today. I'm on shift, so I'm gonna have to bail out.
No worries. We ended up doing the job. It took way longer than we expected. Also due to the mechanical failure of the lifts. They had to bring us multiple different lifts because they stopped working. Yeah. And they're coming from Escondido to Corona. Wow. So we're sitting out there dead time 3 hours, 4 hours. And that's money we didn't get back. Nobody wants to hear that.
No, it was really, really hectic. I know that I was stressing with it. HD Washman actually went out and did a job with me during these times. And the lifts, I think a lift broke down on every single job. It was an issue left and right, but I still made it through. If you go back,
we did. We made it through, and we got paid. We got paid. They took the full 30 days.
Yes, they did. That's the thing. That's the thing is these type of commercial jobs, the requirements are ridiculous and very depending on who gives you the contract. You could have different requirements that different hoops you're going to have to jump through. For us doing like these trailer parks and whatnot, the requirements were just pretty much basic. They wanted the workman's comp, make sure you got the business insurance, and that's pretty much it. Which is like most commercial jobs. But the schools are a little bit different. The schools are so much more fun because the different types of things that they have for you to deal with are super, super fun. Lewis, David, I don't know if you have. David, have you ever cleaned any carport solar panels and any of the school carport solar panels? Okay.
No. I can't even tell you if we had any schools here right now. All the newer schools are being built with solar in mind. I'm almost 90% sure on that. But no, haven't come to that yet.
Okay.
I would say have money for in that part of the business. You gotta have money to make the money there.
Right.
You got to spend money to make money. You know what I mean? It's good money because when we did get paid, it was a good time. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, 100%.
But waiting a month for any pay is, is not a good time.
so hard. So the first thing that you're going to need is the workman's comp. There's no way around it. You need to have the workman's comp, especially if you have employees. You have to have the workman's comp. They're going to be looking for that. I would say the business insurance second.
I use the bathroom.
Go ahead. Although it's you probably have your business insurance before you get your workman's comp. But here's the thing: if you're doing a carport solar panel cleaning, there's a 99.9% chance that you're not going to be doing it by yourself, and you're going to need somebody else. We're going to get down here towards the end, and if David Colby's still with us, we're going to be talking about the safety of this, because a lot of this starts to up the ante a little bit, and you need to make sure that you're on point. Some things like making sure that you have a health manual in your work vehicles, which is another requirement.
First aid kit.
Yeah, first aid kit, and that's exactly. We're gonna get to that because that's where we're going to. So the first thing that I want to talk about beyond the business insurance and the workman's comp are these forms called DOS forms. Okay, guys, these were the killer for me in 2013, 14, 15, 16. DOS 140. Let me see here. It's the DOS 140 and the DOS 142 forms. Now, you have to fill these out. Check this out. It might have changed a little bit, but I doubt. But you have to send these off to the what office was this? No, it's the Public Works office. You have to shove this off to the Public Works office, and you have to email it, and then you have to text it not text, I'm sorry. You also have to fax it to them as well, which is really, really heavy. So these forms, if you have anything you start caring about this whatsoever, you might really want to start looking into the DOS 140 and DOS 142 forms. Hold on here 1 second here. While Mike's going to the restroom. That's the first place that I would start to with these school contracts. I think that's the first place that I would start with, is asking exactly where you classify for the person who's giving you the contract. Where do you classify, and what are the full requirements? Because if you classify just as a janitor or just as a cleaner, it can change things dramatically. Then you might not have to fill out the DOS 140 and DOS 142 forms, which you can get online too. You can get them online, download them, and print them out. I used to do that all the time. It's just one sheet, right? And just a little heads up, you're going to have to go ahead and fill this out and do it twice. Like I said, you want to make a copy of this because you're going to be sending it off. You're going to be emailing it and faxing it. Very, very important, because if you miss this, guys, if you miss a DOS form, for these school districts, you could have a big problem, especially with the person who's giving you the contract, and you might not even get paid. And we're talking about a 30-day net wait.
And on top of that, you mess up.
Right. That adds more time to it. So it's important to go ahead and get everything on point. The DOS forms. The other thing that's important is you need to go ahead and register with the Department of Industrial Regulations. The Department of Industrial Regulations, let me put this down here. Reg with the Department of Industrial Regulations. This is like $400. I think I think you have to pay that twice a year, but it's very, very important, especially if you're doing public works. Anybody do any kind of public works? Lewis, David, any kind whatsoever?
Yeah, the new trolley stations here in San Diego.
All right. Now, because you're right here in San Diego, did you have to register with the Department of Industrial Regulations?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. See, so this is something. And is it still $400? What's it this is twice a year, right?
I'm not sure. I think,
Jesus Christ, boy.
Dude, when you're in multiple states, there's so much that you have to do. HR takes care of that, but we go through HR through Square System. So, yeah,
okay.
Department,
that really helps. All right. Well, like I said, these are, things that you can look up and that are very, very important. Oh, I skipped one here. So let me go ahead and put this. I'm sorry, DOS 140 and DOS 142. These are very, very important forms that you got to fill out, especially if you're doing these school ones. Otherwise, you're not going to meet the requirements. And depending on the school district, you're going to want to know exactly what the price is.
Normally, they will send you a whole
list.
Most
of the time, when you're doing this, you're going to have to. Did I freeze up there? Most of the time, when you're doing these, right? They do, because they give you the price of exactly what because you're after going to do the prevailing wage. You're going to have to know. That's why I was talking about the classification. How do they classify? You're going to have to ask them that. It's very important because if you have to do the prevailing wage, you're going to have to pay your guys out probably $48 to $54 per hour, which can be really expensive. In that first fucking job, 5 days. I don't know what the hell we were thinking, but each guy had 19 hours of overtime. We were like, fuck, dude, we're clocking this shit. As business owners, the three of us turned around and like David he's got work to do. We looked back and we were like, bro, this is too much. Too much. And we wasted so much freaking money on that. So, it's very important to ask him exactly, how are you classified? How am I classified?
And let me just
sound it out, Chris. Sound it out.
Solar panel cleaning is actually not a known category. It doesn't have its own classification. So you do go under a lot of things. So like Chris said, you have to ask on which classification are you going under, because if you put the wrong one, then tables turn and it's
changes. Right, because you want to know, because that could be the difference of paying somebody like $46 an hour to $54 an hour, which is really, really ridiculous. The video feed keeps getting interrupted, which is very bothering me. There it goes.
Some chat. Hold on.
I think it's just an internet connection around this area. Yeah, that's that's very important, not to get yourself screwed, but ask how you are classified. I think that sometimes they classify the solar panel cleaners in that situation as a janitor, which actually might even help to your benefit.
Yeah, one of our viewers just said they had to classify him under handyman.
There you go. And it's all over the place. Everybody does something different. If you guys think that looking for business insurance for a solar panel cleaning company was difficult and not finding, and each one of these companies not having it as a category, wait till you step up into this level, because it is 10 times that. It is really ridiculous.
I have a question for Lewis here. What is the difference in labor rate as from manual water fed pull to a rotating brush on carports?
Fuck, your back.
It does a lot for your back. It's a lot of labor saving.
Okay. Rotary brushes save a lot more because you can push through a lot more faster than a water-fed brush. Because in a water-fed brush, you can't keep the same momentum through all the panels. You can't push
100%. And that's a big mistake that people make. You base it off of, I could do panels every 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, and then they times that by whatever. This is only going to take us a day.
Let me say, and let me talk about that,
then
because that's steam. What I do. Right. And Mike's
steam,
right. What's funny is because when I first did this, back in the day, I don't even say when I first did this, back in the day, we had, Solitech rotating bristle brushes, and we used them. And then when I brought Mike out, we did it with the manual bristle brushes. It was only the two of us, and I didn't break it out. What would that one guy say to me? I didn't check the logistics. Well, you know what?
He
I didn't check the logistics.
Hey, I like that.
And that really caused a problem. So
it really hit base. Yeah, it did.
It really did. It humbled me in a lot of situations. Yeah, check the comments out if you
I got
could,
you.
Please.
Yeah, the guy said same with pressure washers and soft washing, glorified janitor.
Yeah, that's how you feel somewhere. You can call us maids, you can call us janitors, custodians. Well, it doesn't really matter because my bank account calls me by my name, so I don't really care.
Yeah, they're gonna need as long as they're sending that cash. Which is another thing, we were dealing with some customers that I don't know if other people sometimes they don't want to pay, they do pay, stuff like that.
Right. So, and let's talk about that because that should be really the next question. When am I getting paid? All right, hold on here. What is your net weight for? Wait.
Like you said, Luis, he made 10% just because of the logistics weren't right on, and it happens so fast. Your profit percent dwindles so fast.
Goes down.
You can go in the red. You know what I mean?
Yes. It can drive you down in the red in a contract that seems. Now, here's the thing: is if you think that jumping in, I see some of you guys like post stuff up in the group, and you're like, "Man, I want to go ahead and try this." Make sure that you have the backing of it because things can really go bad. We did this project out of all the jobs I did, we did these carport panels for these trailer parks. I lost money due to United Rentals. I will call them out. I hate United Rentals with a passion because
they had some
they screwed me. So many
below
issues.
Average equipment.
They never gave me a propane tank on any of the lifts that they delivered every single time. Now, during this time, my van had died. I didn't have any other truck or anything else. It was a down point. So we were renting trucks as well. And that's the other thing as well. And I'm going to get back to this, but make sure that you're prepared to get out and do these jobs because you can easily find yourself losing so much cash so quickly. It sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah, because you go into it thinking, hey, I'm going to make big money.
Right.
And people will throw the money at it thinking that.
Right. Here's what I think. And this is, Louis, you brought up something, but I think that is very, very important to put into the contract, build it into it that you need 20% up front. You need a 20% up front in order to get that going. So this can
just
be
to get the ball rolling
for a guy starting.
And remember,
and you're still probably going to come out the pocket more because you're not making 80% profit.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not the percentage. That's not your profit margin. But you want to go for like a 50, 60%.
Yeah, exactly. So you're still going to have to, put a little bit of it, which is all right,
And let's talk about this because now here's a couple things that may happen. You might have 2 tanks. This is real talk. You might have 2 tanks that you have rented, like full cubic foot tanks that you have rented from Colligan, that you rented from, let's say, where I live, Escondido, and then you drove 2 hours to Los Angeles. You're out of school. You're up on a lift. You didn't strap them to anything. They're attached to the water connection, the water source. You're up on a lift and you're going down the line, and all of a sudden you've gone too far, and it pulls over those tanks, and the top of them falls over and cracks. So now you don't have 2 tanks at work, and you're in the middle of working, and you've now stopped production, and now you got to somehow find a way to get tanks. That costs money. You can have a SolarTidy brush. Real talk. You can have a SolarTidy brush. Those things will take off on you. See, because you flip the brush.
You better put a hold on it. Huh?
Oh yeah, you could be like this and be on the wrong way. Just like with the pull. You actually don't clean like this. You're on a lift like this, and your arms are dead. It's not.
Yeah, because you're still having to come over the bars.
Right. So you're like.
Remember, we were at one point. We were coming through the bars, and we were lifting the lift so high. We were coming through the bars.
You're yeah, exactly. You're on.
And I don't know how tall the carports were when you did them, but the ones we were at were huge.
We did some that were even bigger than that. And in fact, one time we did some that were for buses to park underneath. It was freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, we're 25, 30 feet in the air next to a freeway.
I don't know why
you know, it's windy up there and it moves.
I might have to actually back out for a minute and just join with my phone.
Please. I wish you would.
It's so bad. My my connection is terrible, and it just keeps breaking the interrupting.
I had to see Louis. I had to see this guy all day.
I know. I just every single time I'm driving in the truck,
crazy.
I got all this stuff going on, and I turn to the right, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's such a good day."
Nothing. Just take me home.
Take me home.
Maybe we'll get a beer now.
Right? Yeah, we usually do. Like I picked some up from the Wild Barrel. Hazelicious. It's so good.
Yeah, I had some of that Prince of Dankness, but I already went through all that. So
it's delicious.
All right. Well, okay. So the next
what's next on the checklist here?
The next thing is certified payroll. I think it's important to go ahead and ask, am I having to have certified payroll? Because, sorry guys. Certified payroll is another thing you're going to have. A lot of you, if you're just starting out, just have your QuickBooks or you're doing, all your stuff yourself. If you have employees and you start doing public works, and especially if you're doing school, working for any kind of school or anything like that, you're probably going to find yourself in a situation where you need certified payroll, which can be not too expensive or can be expensive depending on the company you go with. The first time that we were doing this, we had to go through this company that was actually, Mikey was in San Marcos. And in Louis, you might know where San Marcos is. We're in Escondido, and San Marcos is just a town over. But we had to drive to this place all the time, like I would say once a week to deal with them. And then we switched up to another company because they were a little bit better, but they had a problem and were taking money. They took like $2,000-$3,000 out of an account that they weren't supposed to. So we went to another company, and it's like just a big hassle. So be prepared. Ask your contract holder, if you plan to do any kind of public works or anything for like a school, do I need certified payroll? And if so, two things that I'll suggest. Number one, ask them if they got any kind of company that they recommend as a company used for certified payroll. Probably the person who gives you the contract. Second, do your research. If they don't have anybody to suggest, check what's out there for certified payroll, because you can find yourself in a situation where you're paying a lot of money for that crap, which really, really sucks.
I have something to add.
Go ahead.
Hold on here.
Go ahead, Mike.
As far as on the logistics of things, put eyes on the location. That's something we didn't do. We didn't put eyes. We've seen it from pictures. It didn't look that bad.
Right.
Go see the job. Like I said, this job was we're located in Escondido. It's in Corona.
Logistics important.
We didn't take the hour-and-a-half drive just to go check the job out. You know what I mean? We thought we were going to be able to just knock it out. We're us. It's nothing.
Someone asked, why do I need to certify it? Because it just might be a requirement. Okay. I mean, that's in short. Just like Mike is talking about, that you need to go out and check a job, and sometimes, especially with these ones that are so big, you need to check the logistics of it. That's a requirement for yourself, for your business.
The reason
it's just a requirement.
Yeah,
just is.
The reason the requirement is because there's some people that actually do shady shit, so they'll do the job. The workers, and then the workers go after the company that hired them. So
the main. Yep.
To protect them, they have to verify and make sure that you have certified payroll. That you actually have legit workers and all that.
They're going to get their pay, and they're not going to come back after them.
Nobody wants to end up with a lawsuit, and it can carry down because you got the school, you got the person who they give somebody a contract, and then that person usually gives the contract out to different people. They usually have a contract for like more than one school. That's usually the installer, electric company. It's usually install. I'm going to say that. That's 99.99% of the time it's the installer. Let me see something. But basically, that's where it comes down to. Someone just asked something. Hold on. Let me see what this is. Can you find any other requirements online for schools or districts? Yeah, you can. This is what I found exactly for that.
The location is going to dictate the requirements.
It really is, and that's what I was just about to say. The only thing that I've been able to find is for like the.
I don't know if there's going to be a general. I'm sure there's a few that are across the board, but
you can find
anything can change.
You can find the prevailing wage amount for the different districts, and that's the other thing too. If you have, like, say here in California, the different school districts have different prevailing wage rates. So don't think that just because over in San Diego it was $48. Don't think that in Santa Barbara it is the same, school out there is the same rate. It's not going to be. It's all different. That's why it's important to classify this and make sure that you're getting all the right things. Ask the right questions, because you don't want to waste your time. You don't necessarily have to certify something because your payroll, because it's something you want to do. You're doing the certified payroll because exactly like Lewis had said, and because it's a requirement and because you have employees. Now, above all the different paperwork that you're going to have to do, because I think that's pretty much the basic of it. There's not really a whole crazy amount of questions. You can get a little bit deeper into that. And what I will say is this, and maybe you guys can back me up with this and tell me what you think. Beyond the things that we just discussed, research your customer. Basically, be an investigator. Investigate your customer and ask them questions. Ask them about the job. Mike made a good point. The logistics. Ask them, what's going on. What do they expect? What do they see? What do they experienced? What do they expect to have happen? Is there, is that, am I pretty much on point?
Expectation of the customer is always something you need to figure out.
Very important, right? Build that expectation so you don't get screwed, right?
That report. Ask them if they've ever had cleaned before, and
what was the result? Yeah,
If they tell you more than 3 companies cleaned that's a red flag.
Something's wrong.
That's a red flag. One, because they're gonna be probably trouble.
Yeah, well, they're gonna try to find a reason. Find something.
Yeah.
They are. That's questions. What's up?
What's up? Do you guys hear this guy? This is what I deal with.
All day long. It's so fun. It's so funny. I have so much fun with it. All right, so let's talk about the equipment.
Let's talk about poop, Mike. This is the kind of stuff he asks me.
I do not. What are you talking about? Lewis, what were you about to say? I feel like you were about to say something that might be a little bit more important than what Mike was about to say.
Oh yeah.
I lost my train of thought. I was listening to what Mike was saying.
You can't keep it. You see what I have to deal with all day long.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's go, Brandon. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Oh, I see you like men. Chris is gone.
This is not going the way that I thought it would. I didn't plan for it to go this way. All right. So manual brushes, rotating bristle brushes, or robots.
He said, "Hey, hold on. Who's Brandon?"
Wait.
I'm gonna need further clarification.
Come on. Listen, first off,
let's get to the next topic. Let's get to the next topic point.
No, we will. I will. But first, let me just say this. I say this all the time. Mike does have to listen to my bullshit, but I am going to address this right now. Here's what I'm going to say. We're talking about work. And when it comes to work, my grandfather told me 3 things you do not discuss, and that is sex, religion, and politics. You mind your business on that. You keep that off of that. This is not the place to do that. We can
I'm trying to zoom in
podcast, another time. But and at that, Mike, what do we think? What is the president? Does he need to wake up?
He's tired, actually.
He's freaking tired, dude. That bro somebody needs to slap him on the head. How do you fall asleep when you're at a summit with a bunch of how do you fall asleep when people are looking at you?
What is it? The I can't think. The something 20.
What's that? What was it?
That's what he was at. I can't think of the
Let's
something 20, but that's where all the leaders were at, and he had to go to sleep. He was tired.
Damn. I don't understand that. I understand that. That's
great
so ridiculous.
Let's see what happened here.
You see that? How ridiculous that is? All right. We're moving on.
Yeah, let's move back to the topic.
Yeah, enough with the politics, guys. That's how I feel. We don't talk about politics, sex, or religion. But anyways, more importantly, the equipment. We're going to talk about the different equipment here because it's obvious that using manual brushes when either up on a scissor lift or on a knuckle boom, a cherry picker, it's going to be really, really complicated. As you guys know, Mike, I put you through a couple weeks of hellacious cleaning up on the lift. How was that on the shoulders?
It was great. Burnt the first day. We burned out. We burned out the first day going hard.
Right.
Because you have all this. You go into it with a big head, a full head of steam, and you just go. And when you have to come back the next day, it's already worn on you.
So equipment is important. Manual brushes are tedious. That's not how you spell tedious. I could have right-clicked it, but that's okay. Are a pain in the ass. That's what I'm put. Rotating bristle brushes. Now, Mike, you haven't had the opportunity to use those yet.
I'm not.
Now, Lewis, have you used a rotating bristle brush on a carport?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Was that a yes?
Yes, we do.
Yes. And which one do you use? Is that a SolarTidy?
No, the Cashiers are 800s.
Oh, the Karcher. Oh, you know what? Good. So we can talk about that. There's the Karcher and there's the SolarTidy. All right. There's the two different brushes, which are the most popular brushes for solar panel cleaning when it comes to the rotating bristle brushes. Now the Karcher just has these two round brushes that kind of rotate like this, against each other. How do you find that? Is that very helpful in assisting in removing, like, say, bee pollen? I'm sorry, I apologize to interrupt because I need to let people talk, but I need to clarify this because let's talk about in San Diego and then in Hawaii, because these are two different areas. Location does dictate. In California, we have one thing, but in Hawaii, it's ridiculous. So first, do you use it in California?
Yes, we do.
And how does that work for you?
Residential.
It's done fast, but bee pollen, about 80%, it removes it. The others, you either have to manually brush it out with the Tucker scrubber if you want to get it all off. But I mean, if you're doing a lot of them, 80% of everything, of the bee pollen come out. But dirt, debris, everything comes off easy.
And so the SolarTidy in comparison to that, you've never used it?
I have SolarTidy, but okay. There is a cleaner that says that
it's not always the best. I don't like to use it for residential, but when it comes to San Diego cleaning, Los Angeles, West Coast cleaning with the SolarTidy, it has its moments where it doesn't fully get the bee pollen. Sometimes it 100% gets it all, and it's just a killer. But it just depends on location and area. In Hawaii, let me ask you this: in Hawaii, how does the Karcher deal with that algae and that moss and all the crap that's out there? Didn't you just have a job that was ridiculously hard and it was just killing you?
Yeah, so we shipped out 2 cashiers to Hawaii to do
is that cheap?
Yeah. But here's the part. Mildew gets stuck inside the cashiers because that's where the water comes out, and the bristles are not strong enough for the mildew. So we had to bring them back with us, and now we have to order the SolarTech 1000s because I hear that they're going to be working a lot better for mildew.
Is there a wait time on the brush?
They say it's about the same with the SolarTech. There's a company that actually has both, but they say it's about the same weight as a SolarTech.
Okay.
It's hard. You know, the funny thing, when I first got my SolarTech, which was many years ago, we only had one contact.
Did you see that comment? That was beautiful. He said,
which one?
Is there not the most recent one? Is there not a? I'll bring it back. Yes. That I believe he means like a piston pumps in and out, like a shake weight.
What type of pressure will you use though? Because you need CO2 in order for it to be pop. You know,
something has to. I don't know if that would work.
It's all two brushes like this that are all
like a piston,
like that.
Yeah, like he's talking up and down, so you don't have to move your shoulders.
If you put this on mute and watch us doing stuff like this, it is the most terrible looking thing in the world. Like Mike's like, not for me because I'm not doing that. So here's the thing with the SolarTech is off. It's spinning, and like I was talking about earlier, you could be on a slant like the carports, and it'll
pull from
the
centrifugal force.
Pretty much, because you have yourself like the water that's pushing it, so which can be even a little bit stronger than say the. I think it's almost comparable to that motor that we use, that 12-volt motor. Motor.
The what?
The 12-volt motor that we use.
You have a toothache?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Things are got a problem. I always got a toothache. But that's what you need. Basically, what I'm saying is you need that type of pressure to go ahead and get the water moving. Does the Karcher, you need a motor to go with that? They don't provide you with a motor, right?
No, you need a pressure washer or a very strong motor.
Right,
oh, really? Someone said they've been thinking about making an air piston type one.
Let's do it. Put one out on the market. You got a lot of cleaners that want to test it.
Yeah,
it's something that's possible,
right?
It could work,
I am super hungry.
It's something that would have to be seen. Hey, I got pizza right here looking at me.
Bro, all day long, me and Mike literally did appointments, came home. I got everything together, green screen, put it all up, took a shower, smoked real quick, got things together. I got my beer and okay, let's get it going.
Down.
I have not had anything to eat yet. I am seriously freaking hungry, man. Dying over here.
Yeah, the pressure brushes, it's really easy to push and pull back, like super easy, because they just glide on themselves.
It almost glides on top of the panel.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you just keep it standing or still, it's gonna go either left or right.
Yeah, it's gonna want to move out of you. Yeah,
you're walking on the roof and you want to go to the other side, it just freaking glides really fast, like.
It's gonna take off on you. So I mean, that's another thing too. So when people just say, "I want to get a SolarTech is so badass," like literally, they're not.
I see we're coming up towards the end here. Is there any viewers that have questions that for next week or something topics they'd like to see?
Well, hold on. I already got that taken care of, and we've got a topic. But let's finish this off, and then Mike is making a point. Let's go ahead and move this along because I do want to eat. But
no, I don't. I was just saying if what the people out there, you know what I mean, what they want to hear too.
I'll tell you what, because this is a perfect time. If it's okay, Lewis, do you want to go ahead and do the questions and answers real quick?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have the questions that I sent you, right?
Yes, I do. Sorry.
Okay.
Or were they in that one letter format?
That layout thing, yeah, that I had to put together so I didn't fall off. All right. Well, Lewis, what I'll do is I'll turn the time over to you. And if you want to go ahead and ask the questions, and then we'll go ahead and just kind of discuss them real quick, we'll do that. But guys, basically we're doing, if you don't know, I'll just go ahead and drop this. If you have any kind of questions or anything like that, if something that's bothering you, whether it be residential or commercial, send them on in. You can drop a comment or you can DM either one of us. You can send us a message or you can email us at solarpanelcleaningfriends@gmail.com. Lewis will be reading the questions and we'll be discussing them. And with that, here's Lewis Alfaro with this week's Q&A session.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, so the first question is, how often should a client get the panels cleaned? Every 6 months? Question mark. It really depends on geographical area. If they're closer to the freeway, every 3 months. If they're a little bit more inland, every 6 months. Now, if they're right where like it doesn't like, let's say what's the good area? Spring Valley, up in the
mountainy type
mountain where it's like only breeze but not a lot of dirt. It's mostly trees.
More trees, yeah.
Yeah, then I will consider once a year, you know. But we
have a few once a years out that way.
It really comes up to asking the customer how much is their annual pay on electricity, you know.
Yeah, check the data for sure.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? You know, see what's worth it for them.
Exactly. And then follow up with your customers every 3 months after you clean it to see if there's a change in their system on what's the change on the efficiency, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can
that's basically it.
That's basically it, you know. Now, if they're like in the geographic area where the airplane is like really, you know, either taking off or like Point Loma or like landing where like South Park, then yes, it's every 3 months.
More dirty, yeah.
You know, it's more dirty, more traffic.
Location dictates everything. You know, and some people, me and Mike, we tell people every 6 months, but we also let them know that, hey, after the third, fourth month, go ahead and check. Well, first off, what we tell them, I let me reel it back. I tell them that if you go check your output right now, it's going to make us look like we're amazing because the water is evaporating.
Right after the cleaning, yeah.
Yeah, so tomorrow you're going to get your first good reading, and that's your benchmark. And then in 3 or 4 months after this, see where you're at. And if you're starting to dip, then you know every 6 months you need me to come out. Now, let's just say you're all good and you're in an area that just by chance you don't have a lot of wind blowing, a lot of dirt blowing, you're all good. You're once a year, but I wouldn't go beyond that. And that's, you know, what I like to keep it to. I think that's safe for the customer. It's also safe for me as a business owner.
Well, and it saves their panels too. You know,
it does.
Yeah.
And I think
it's their investment.
Who was it? VCash97 that asked that question.
Yes, and these were all from YouTube, by the way.
VCash.
Okay.
Shout out.
VCash. All right.
Shout out to VCash97.
So yes. But like I said, it really depends because other states, if you're in another state that doesn't have a lot of panels or has sun or like has snow, I can't tell you on that. You know, I'm not expert on that, but you gotta mostly in the Western Hemisphere. If you're, you know, in California, busy area every 3 months, semi every 6 months, not busy once a year, and that's it. The next question that we're going to is I haven't tested my water yet, but it's probably bad. Do I really need to invest into a tank? It is best to invest into a tank because you don't know what the TDS levels or total dissolved solids is in that area. If you are,
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Lewis, would you say that it's important for people to go ahead and have if you're not sure, to have a TDS tester?
Yeah.
100%.
100. That's how you'll be able to set.
It's super cheap, man. A TDS tester is a TDS meter is like what, $20-$30 off of Amazon. What are we doing? Yeah. What are we doing?
It's a little blue thing with you hit it with the water wop.
What's perfect about it is the cap comes off, you put some water on it, you put it in there, you're like, oh yeah, I'm like at 300,
you
500.
Yep.
You know, I'm at 500 plus, which is past the EPA, you know, recommend.
Yeah, we use the Solar 7.
If you buy a Tucker tank, I think it comes with a tester already.
A lot of them do.
Yeah, I think it does. Next question is, sorry, I'm charging my laptop.
Wait.
Who was that from?
Okay. Who asked that question?
The person who asked this question is Oliver Mohani. Mahoney.
All right. Lewis's phone is about to die.
My laptop.
He didn't check the logistics.
I didn't check the logistics. Okay, now next is this one's from David Levia. Do you need a license to do what you do?
Oh yeah, I need a license to do what I do because I'm a badass. I have a license to I drop it everywhere.
Does he mean as far as I think he means as far as a business license?
Yeah,
Mr. Virgin.
there's. Yeah. I think
there's no license for solar panel cleaning. People always ask us all the time. There's no license for solar panel cleaning. You don't need to get anything specific. You start a business. That's your business license.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need a contractor's license or anything.
No,
you're not screwing anything in. You're just cleaning.
You're not. You're more maintenance. It's that you're not installing.
Right.
You're just cleaning them.
Yeah.
What did you say? That was from David. Was it a David?
Mr.
You
Leva.
said asset.
Mr. David Levia.
All right. Yeah, you don't need a license. You're all good.
How's it
go
going,
ahead
Ryan?
And get started.
Good to see you on the show.
And if you haven't gotten started, just say hello and get started.
Fuster.
No, not Mr. Ryan Fuster from YouTube, actually.
Mr. Fuster. What's up?
We actually got a name. It was surprising because we're through. It's live over there. Huh?
Yeah, okay. It's still trying to get that all together. But all right, go ahead, Lewis. What's the next question?
Next one. Abel asked this question. He said, "What pole, brush, and equipment do you use?" Well,
I think all three of us use different things. Actually.
It's all different. It's not really the
same
thing. But for tanks, we use Tucker. For brushes, we use Tucker and Carport brushes. And that's about it. I mean,
I use a Gardner pole from a SolarTech, but without the SolarTech head. We use our own heads, and we use the Solar 7 for our filtering stuff.
Yep. I personally use a simple Excalibur pole. I don't like the new poles. It's not that I don't like the new
what is it? The Shogun? Is it the Shogun?
The Shogun, yeah. It looks beautiful pole.
Yeah.
It's too beautiful to use. And it scratches. And once you get scratches on it, which I think the guys
feel
over
hurt.
at Squeegee Life Podcast, I even made mention of this, that once you get a scratch on it, it just hurts because it's such a beautiful
sticks out. Yeah.
pole.
And
then
mine's just
well, hold on. The unit that I use, the filtering system, is that me and Mike uses the Solar 7, which really helps from pH 7. And then the brush that I use is the brush that I make, and me and Mike use that, which is a 24-inch brush. Has 4-inch bristles. Yeah, it's got 4 pencil jets on it. We have a scraper attached to it that we use, and that's our equipment. Badasses.
Yeah, like the poles, I actually agree with this because when we got when you buy equipment, it feels nice, especially when you buy expensive brushes. What we do, and if you guys have the Carport brushes, whoever has it, get duct tape. Put duct tape really nice on the whole pole, and then every time it scratches it, put like a new one. That way, every time we change it every month. The tape out.
See, that's so much work I can't get into, but that is.
It's
after you do it once, right? We had a few questions as well, guys, coming in from.
Let's answer them real quick
from YouTube. Yeah.
All right, so first off here, I need help figuring out the paperwork for commercial jobs, mostly commercial jobs with flat roofs and with panels. Okay, so first off, the paperwork is going to be
different.
It's going to be just about the same, but I think that the main thing that we should be talking about here is the fact that flat installs are some of the
worst
difficult solar panels. Yeah, because the stuff just accumulates. All the dirt just accumulates at the edge. And not to mention
after you clean it, if you have to literally push all of that dirty water off. And if you don't, when it dries, it'll be dirty like you didn't clean.
Kim Verduck, he's got an answer to this. He uses these siphon clips that you can get from him. I guess they clip on, and the water kind of drains out of it.
I've seen that. That did look good.
Right.
Seen those. We also had another question from somebody on YouTube. If you want to bring that one up, it's a good.
I certainly will. Christian, thank you so much. Send me a message and
Mr.
after
Kama,
the podcast, and I'll go ahead and help you out with that. right, the next one here that we got is how long does the filter last? You've seen it and it looks small. We must be talking.
I believe he's
about
talking about the Solar 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we've had it for over a year, and we've never even touched it.
Yep.
I don't know.
It has two Tech 7s on it as well.
Yeah.
So I mean it works great. I don't have anything bad to say about it.
I'm watching the stream and we keep freezing up, which is bothering me. And I apologize, guys. I'm gonna try to fix that for next week.
Well, it's because you suck.
Yeah, hello for the info. Got to go have a great rest of the stream. Hey, thank you. We hope we get it. It gets a little bit better.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
Why don't you go ahead and read what I believe is the last and final question for this week?
Yep, it is. Let's see. Philip Hersig asked
Mr. Simple.
Yeah. Do you have your
own?
It's
Flip, like Flippies.
Philip, do you have your own source of water, or do you take it from customers? Okay,
from the customers.
Yeah, always.
We personally take it from the customers too.
Yeah, customers.
Yeah,
use customers' water. Commercial ones, there's some that you actually have to bring the water,
and then you charge the customer.
Yeah, you have to.
I'm not paying for we're not paying for the water.
Right.
We're not up there, depending on the size of it. I mean, we're not using that much water.
No, it's very controlled. There's
it's controlled and it's limited water. We're not up there for a long time.
Here, I'll get back to that one. We're plugging into when it comes to the residential work, we're plugging into their water spigot, which is usually on the side of the house. Not a big deal. When it comes to commercial, there's a couple different things that I have found myself doing. You probably might want to get a quick connect because you might be connecting from the ground if you can't find one on the building. Or you might be connecting to the fire hydrant, which that's another thing too. The fire hydrant is another thing that you might have to connect to. And if that's the case, you have to contact the city specifically where you're at. And you'll probably have to put a deposit, which can range from $500 to $2,000. That's always a big fun one right there. Now, real quickly, seems like a massive outlay for tractors or big equipment to make it efficient.
I believe he would be better off asking the resident tractor guy in the group that type of question.
I'll direct you. It's Sasser. Rick Sasser, I believe is his name.
Exactly. And he is a star at that.
Shout out to him. He's a star with that tractor.
Oh man, he kills it.
You'd be using those. That's for a solar field, the ground mounts. You definitely wouldn't be using.
There's not many out here where we're at.
That's the only thing.
He's on the east side.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one in Oceanside, Lewis and Mike, over by Camp Pendleton. It's got like 28,000 panels. That's the biggest one. We did that one year a long time ago, and that was a hellacious one. Real quickly, let's bust this down here. Do you ever hose off or do a quick brush on flat panels and then just have a guy squeegee them off with a pole? Also, why not use a rinse bar instead of a pencil jets? You can use a rinse bar. You can use the MoFlows, whatever works for you.
You could use fan jets. We've done 2 and 2. We've done 2 fan jets, 2 pencils. Right. I guess as preference, we just like how it flows with the 4 pencil jets.
I was just about to say it's the flow. And when we got our motor working,
yeah,
we're good.
We have 3-inch, 2 or 3/8, 2. Yeah.
There it is. It's the tubing. As long as you have the motor and you have the good flow from the water source, and you might need a water pump to pump that up. The tubing to assist that, and then it doesn't matter if you have 2 pencil jets, 4, or you have the MoFlow, or you have a over the top rinse bar. You just want to make sure that the flow is covered and that you're getting the proper rinse to get the good clean.
I think like I said, we have we use a 24-inch brush, and for us, anything less than 4, the spread wasn't gonna work for us.
And even at times we're actually thinking about making a 48-inch brush, which is basically, I think the first part of your question here. Let me get this. is to press, push that dirt off is very important. And the first rinse is good, softens. The scrub is to push it off, to assist that and get it moving. And that final rinse is the most important part. But
I was going to say, on a flat panel, no, we never put a squeegee. It's all about that.
We never do a
rinse.
squeegee ever.
As long as as long as you're brushing every part of the panel, the final rinse is the key to flat panels.
Definitely. And just to circle back with Philip or Philippe. It's the same thing, man. The water source, you're plugging in. If you got a tank, it works for some people, whether you're doing window cleaning or whatever, then go ahead and do it that way. And that's totally awesome. Real quick here, a couple different things, guys, here as we're winding down to the end here. We've had a couple of different, we actually are done. We've had a couple different little problems with the streaming tonight. This video, the whole podcast will be uploaded to YouTube as soon as we're done here in its entirety without any kind of interruptions whatsoever. You're more than welcome to circle back in case there was anything that you didn't catch or any kind of good information that was in there. Really quickly, some shout outs to some cleaners out there. For this week, we're going to be doing a shout out to Daniel Wiseman, owner of Wise Solar Panel Cleaning. Christian Zalepa Rojas, I hope I pronounced it correctly, owner of Mr. Solar Clean. Will Gerardo, I don't know how to pronounce that, owner of Hydro Clean. Scott Maloney, owner of iClean Solar. Dorian Takahashi, owner of iClean Solar Panel in Hawaii. And Josh Lane, owner of Solar Shine LLC. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast this week of the Solar Panel Cleaning Podcast. If you are interested in, I'm low on PC, so we got to hurry. Go check out the group if you haven't yet. It is facebook.com/groups/Solar Panel Clean Friends. Or you can go to the YouTube group, which is YouTube. youtube.com/Solar Panel Cleaning Friends. You guys go to that, youtube.com/Solar Panel Cleaning Friends. Someone just asked for that. We'll be back here next week again. David will be joining us. We'll be talking about solar panel cleaning and a bunch of other different things. Thank you so much. I swear my computer's about to die, so we got to end this. So, guys, you ready?
You guys have a good one. Yep, I got to head out of here too. I'm starving.
All right, I'm hungry.
You guys have a good one.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Definitely.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.